The Fighting Irish absolutely dismantled Syracuse on senior day to get their ninth straight victory and are by far one of the hottest teams in college football.
By Samarja, inside the 20, inside the 10, he's going in! Notre Dame has scored!
Go! You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal.
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, 5 rocket touchdown.
Notre Dame is number one.
It's a game of who's going to flinch first. We know that isn't going to be Notre Dame.
Hello again, everybody. Landon trailer with John Richards today. Logan and Dylan send their best. Happy Thanksgiving week to everybody. We'll be back before Thanksgiving, but we got some business to attend first. Notre Dame rolls Syracuse, squeezes the fresh squeezed OJ 70-7 on senior day. It was 21-0 before the offense was even out on the field. JR, how is that for your three phases, 4 quarters?
That's what it's supposed to look like. And even Syracuse's coach, Fran Brown, after the game admitted it. A lot of class in how he took that defeat. You see a lot of mutual respect between two coaches at the end of the game compared to the previous week. Right. But that is exactly what I was talking about. 3 phases, 4 quarters. You play like that, you can beat anybody. And if that's the performance you're going to have to put out there next week as well to leave no doubt, then so be it. Sorry for everybody that's in our path. But after watching that game and that performance, there's you can't say Notre Dame doesn't belong and they're not one of the best 12 teams that should be in the college football playoff. Bottom line. That was a dominating performance. You almost felt bad at one point. I don't know. I've never seen a football game start off like that, 21-0, where before the offense even takes a snap. I've not seen that before. So kudos to the staff, kudos to the seniors. Final home game, great all the way around, 70-7. That's a fun way to go. A lot of records set. But we got one more, and we can't go out there with any other mindset, but it's a business trip, right? It's not holiday. It's not Thanksgiving. We're not going out there to stuff the bird, right? We're going out there to win the game.
We're going out there to chop the tree.
Decisively, because it's our last opportunity to make a statement. We're off. You know, a lot of other people they're going to keep playing. They're going to be able to make a name for themselves. People are always trying to chop us down. So, you know, we got to go out there really focused and really determined, leave it all out on the field, let the chips fall where they may.
Leave no doubt.
Leave no doubt.
I'm really not sure if I've ever seen even not just a Notre Dame game like that, but a college football game like that. I saw that on the radio broadcast. I listened to it while I'm at the game. They were saying how we're up there with, I believe Michigan beat Rutgers a few years ago, 78-0, and how it was one of those. It was one of the. I believe Notre Dame is now in the top 5 of dismantling Power 5 programs in terms of average margin of victory there. Obviously, a 63-point win is going to help that, but one of the worst defeats for a Power 4 program ever in college football history, mind you. So Dylan has a Syracuse friend who is in attendance. I'm sure he didn't make it past the first quarter. But nonetheless, Syracuse was 14 for 26, 3 interceptions, 83 yards for their starting quarterback, Joseph Filardi. Their backup quarterback, Luke Carney, came in. He had just 12 passing yards on the day. And then we got 112 rush yards for Syracuse. 112 rush yards through the entire game. And it was led by Joseph Filardi, their quarterback, with 33 yards. Will Nixon was their running back this game. He had 33 yards as well. Filardi had the late game touchdown with 7 seconds to go. Got a little bit of a joking boo from the crowd when he walked into the end zone. That was pretty funny. The crowd stayed, too. The crowd was awesome. I thought it stayed. It was into it. In the last drive, they were chanting defense, and it was really cool to see. So JR, defensively, we really locked in. It was amazing to see. And again, I don't think it's credit enough for Chris Ash for turning this around enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I got that written down as one of my notes. He's done a tremendous job. You know, I know our guy Dylan, he attributes it to Freeman. Whatever it may be, all the pieces are pulling in the right direction. So, they've really come a long way. Everybody's playing the best that they can. And that's what it's going to take. I mean, we got to lean on our defense. They should kind of set the tone. And they're playing really good. That's one of the reasons you can't keep them out. The defense has been that dominating.
Exactly. I would not want to face this defense.
Right now, you're like, wow, maybe Pitt was a little better than we thought. And, I want to go back to, the 70-7 too. This isn't the first time this year this has really happened either. If you want to go back to the Arkansas game, we
dismantled
belt to ass, like our guy Dylan wants us to say. BTA, that's what it looks like. 3 phases, 4 quarters. I'm gonna keep saying it. That's my mantra now. 3 phases, 4 quarters. It can happen, and that's what it's supposed to look like.
Absolutely. Here's what BTA looks like. Jeremiah Love, 8 carries, 171 yards, 3 touchdowns, 21.4 average. Jadarian Price, 4 carries, 70 yards, 1 touchdown, 17.5 average. Kenny Minchie with 2 carries on the day, 59 yards and a touchdown. And Aeneas Williams, 9 carries, 13 yards and a touchdown. Man, JR, I gotta say it. If the Heisman Trophy was not just a quarterback award, I still fully believe that Jeremiah Love is the Heisman Trophy winner if it wasn't just given out to the best quarterback every single year.
Well, there's a strong argument for giving it to the best college football player this year because arguably, I guess, I think it's Love or probably Mendoza.
I think it's Love.
Fair. I mean, it's hard to argue with, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every game he's pulling off some kind of run that's got a Heisman moment kind of vibe to it.
Right.
And he does it all. I mean, he didn't even touch the ball 10 times, and he had more yards than – I mean, how many weeks are we going to say that Jeremiah Love has more yards than our opponent?
Right.
And that's just not Jeremiah Love. Credit to the line, credit to the scheme, even credit to Carr for lining us up and getting us into the right play and the right look. There's a lot of times where he's shifting guys and putting people in the right position. It's not just about throwing the ball either. So, Love, he should definitely be invited, right?
He should be in New York, 100%.
No doubt about that.
He has to be there. You can argue. Now, you can make arguments that Mendoza, I think Haynes King might be out of the equation now.
No, he's out.
Yeah, Ty Simpson might be out of the equation now. It's really, honestly, I think it's between Indiana's Fernando Mendoza and Notre Dame's Jeremiah Love.
Pavia may sneak in there. And so may San. There's still a lot of time, and so could Marcel Reed. You don't know what they're going to do yet.
Very true.
There's a lot of time, and there's still a couple of weeks left for some of these other guys to have their Heisman moment.
Very true. Very true. CJ Carr, speaking of, there you go. JR for Heisman. JR's boy, CJ Carr, was 5 for 9 with 49 yards and a touchdown. Notre Dame had 6-7 passing yards on the day, 6-7, with Kenny Minchie coming in there and getting some. Jalen Stroman getting the start for Tay Johnson. He had an interception on the first drive of the game, and then he had a blocked punt the very next one. And that just goes to show the Marcus Freeman era mentality, JR. It's next man up. You're going to find your moment. Go out there and take advantage of the opportunity to play.
No doubt about it, man. That kid came out on fire. He had a heck of a day. We got a lot of depth in that secondary. We've got a lot of playmakers all over that defense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it rolling, man. Let's keep it rolling.
Absolutely. And Marcus Freeman, after the game, did say that Tay could miss the Stanford game as well, which would hurt, I think. But the way Stroman played against Syracuse, I mean, I hate to say we didn't miss Tay much. Wasn't really an opportunity there to miss Tay. Now, I'm sure against a very competent Stanford coaching staff, they're going to be picking on Stroman a little bit more. But before we get to Stanford, we got to wrap up Syracuse. Go ahead, JR.
Yeah, don't forget our guy KVA, too.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we got some business to attend to. Our linebacker, Kingston Viliamuasa, is out for the season after suffering a knee injury. in this ball game. If that's the only thing that went wrong in this Syracuse game, JR. He was our fourth leading tackler. He was a veteran, if you want to say that. He was a leader. He wasn't a captain, I don't think, but he was a leader on this defense. He was the guy who I always loved to look at and watch play. Gonna have to make our run without him now, and that's gonna be hard to do now, I think.
Yeah, he's a difficult piece to replace. In fact, I don't think you probably can replace.
Can't.
Yeah, no, he plays, an important role in our defense. He plays with kind of a violence that we're gonna not be able to replace. So, definitely not an ideal situation. But what are you going to do? That's that time of the year. You got a lot of other people that are banged up with season-ending injuries. It affects a lot of teams, and the people that can respond best from those kind of situations are the teams that are going to keep on playing. So, next man up.
Yeah, exactly. It goes back to the Marcus Freeman mentality. Next man up. You got your opportunity to play. Go make a play. Win this down. JR, I want to talk about Syracuse just before we get out of here real quick. They are now 3-8 on the year. It's been a sad year for them. It was very devastating. It was I don't want to harp on them too much, but it's very sad to see what happened because they had a lot in front of them, and then they lose their starting quarterback, Steve Angeli. However, I do like Fran Brown a lot. I think Syracuse is in a good spot next year with Fran Brown. They're going to learn a lot from this loss. I think you heard his presser. A lot of people did. I like Fran Brown. I think Syracuse is going to be just fine moving forward.
Yeah, you hope. You never know, though. Things fall apart quick. People get angry quick. Again, we're ND and they ain't, so their problem, not mine. But
yeah,
again, a lot of class, a nice little relationship that's being built in football between the two schools. They seem to like playing each other, especially on senior day. It's an easy win most of the time that we can chalk up. So
right, no doubt.
We'll see how it is moving forward, but certainly a lot of respect between the two coaches.
Right, unlike last week's Narduzzi, Freeman press conferences and handshakes. JR, one final thing. We got to stay focused because we are going on the road to California. Palo Alto is, in the past, it has been a tough place for Notre Dame to win. I remember we lost about 5 straight games out there at one point in my childhood. As of late, it has been a lot easier to win there. But they have a very competent coaching staff. They are playing with some life in the last few weeks. And if it's 10:30 at night, that's 10:30 East Coast time. If Stanford catches, what I'm saying here is if we allow Stanford to hang in there a little bit longer than we should, give them life, make them feel good about themselves, we could be in for a little bit of a 4-quarter game, JR.
Yeah. There's been times where we've been out there with national title and playoff hopes too, and they've sort of
knocked us off.
Yeah. It's a tricky spot. It's a tricky time of year. We're used to going out west, though. So, either we're going to Stanford or we're going to USC. So this isn't anything that's foreign to us other than playing at like midnight. I'm not so quite sure what that's all about. It seems a little bit of maybe a backwards way of trying to get us to slip up. But, we'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. So bring it on, right? Yeah. But they are competent. They've had some decent performances. They've got a couple of wins under their belt. Andrew Luck seems to be helping them along. Reich is certainly a competent NFL pro coach.
Right. I love Reich. I think he's a hell of a coach.
So they definitely have things trending in the right direction, but it's going to be a tall task for them.
Oh, it's going to be a tall task for them, 100%. But, they got their senior day. It's a rivalry game, and I do hate going out west every single year to end the season. I think Notre Dame and USC should play the final week of the regular season every single year, whether it's in South Bend or whether it's out west, JR.
Maybe. It sounds like they may want to play it in the beginning of the year now. I don't understand that. We're all creatures of habit. So
very true.
We have a lot of dates next year that are to be determined with our opponents.
Did you see, though, that both Stanford and USC made their way onto the schedule?
I did. Yeah.
So TBA on the dates and the times, the
Yep.
places, even the city is even to be announced as well. Maybe they're taking it to a neutral site. So a lot to be determined. We are back on Wednesday to preview the Stanford Cardinal. It's a rivalry renewed in Palo Alto as Notre Dame and Stanford battle it out for the Legends Trophy. We're back on Wednesday to preview it. Until then, go Irish.